Hello everyone and welcome to another trademark video. I've done a couple of these and I always have so much fun doing the research and looking into what new products brands are going to be releasing, and also in some cases just brand new brands in general. And I did this a couple months ago when I found some trademarks that I believed to be related to JLo Beauty, and I shared the trademarks and my theories, my speculations, and I think they are true. While the products haven't officially launched for JLo Beauty as of filming this video, the website has, and there is a tag at the bottom for Ascendant Beauty, which was the company that I found with trademarks that I believed to be associated with JLo's makeup brand. So seems like I was on the right track, and I had a few good hunches, so I'll be interested to see what those products turn out to be, but it's definitely related to that company. I will have that video linked somewhere, and you can easily find it as well if you are interested, as well as other trademark videos I've done. But before I dig into these new potential brand trademarks too far, I just want to mention that I did just do a palettes I wish existed video. I'm mentioning this specifically because this is probably my most recommended, requested video and video series. So just in case you happen to miss that one, it was uploaded just the other day. So it's palettes inspired by songs. So I have a bunch of trademarks that I want to talk about of things that I believe are brands, brand new brands, that we could be seeing sooner rather than later, and I've got some clues, some little hints. There's some stuff that I may have found more information about that I'm going to share, but I just want to say I have my script in front of me here just to keep me on track, because it's really easy to go off on a tangent in these videos. But I just want to say at the beginning, informational or editorial uses of a trademark do not require permission from its owner. These are uses that inform, educate, or express opinions. I just want to say that at the very beginning, just in case somebody tries to get me in trouble. All of this is speculation. All of this information was from public sources. Everything was accessed legally, and it's all public. So I didn't do anything tricky to get all this information. It's there for anybody to find. So if you have any questions for me regarding trademarks or these sort of videos that I do, please leave them for me. Any kind of feedback is very much welcomed. Constructive criticism is very much welcome. I would love to be able to improve my content as well, so just putting that out there. So let's begin with B. Cardi Cosmetics. This is stylized as one word in the trademark, although I believe if it was actually going to be a brand, it probably would look a little bit different. Now, obviously, I don't know about anybody else, but I of course thought of Cardi B. This is not actually being trademarked by Cardi B, but by a venture capitalist. So a lot of these trademarks are new, or new-ish, I'd say within the last 12 months or so, and they are things that don't currently exist. This is a fairly new trademark. Now, the fact that it's being trademarked, or the trademark has been submitted by somebody who is an investor, is a pretty good sign that this is somebody who is legit backing Cardi B for B. Cardi Cosmetics. Just a thought, because somebody who with a background in any sort of law, financial, whatever, isn't going to try and trademark something like this that wouldn't actually be tied to the person with the basic name. Yes, I know it's rearranged a little bit, but there's no way that they would be able to trademark B. Cardi. It just wouldn't happen because of the ramifications of how close that name is. So there is a Wash Poppin' trademarked from Cardi B, and there is a Shopify site that has Cardi B makeup, and it's called Wash Poppin', and there's a lot of errors on the site, like a lot of simple errors, spelling mistakes. There's a lot of dead links. Now, this was an abandoned trademark from a few years ago as well, which makes me believe that that was an attempt a few years back, and now with the increased popularity of Cardi B, they're gonna go with the B. Cardi Cosmetics. It also just has a smoother sound to it. Like, it's a very appealing kind of name, And this is being trademarked for a variety of different cosmetics. There was no specific cosmetics. Sometimes there's specific trademarks or different trademarks, or sometimes something is being trademarked for a specific use. So you might have names that are trademarked or attempted to be trademarked for specifically skincare as opposed to cosmetics, but this was more of a colored cosmetics, which makes sense because I do think of Cardi B as being a fairly colorful kind of person. I feel like her makeup line would be very colorful, so it makes sense that that's the direction that she would go in. Now, the second one is Chinita Heart Cosmetics. Now this caught my eye because the logo was pretty cute, like the little heart and the whole bunny thing. I thought it was cute, and the name sounds kind of familiar in a way. Like I feel like I've heard that name before. It's the name of a drag queen, and I'm sure there's a few drag performers that have similar sounding names. There is specifically a drag queen in Chicago named Chinita Heart, and this seems to be linked to that specific drag performer. I did find on the graphic designer's page, Chinita Heart Cosmetics is a new and innovative cosmetic company founded by Chicago drag queen Chinita Heart, created to align skincare and mental health. These products are formulated with all skin types in mind to help you achieve your skin goals, which sounds wonderful. The logo's really cute. Now, there does seem to be more of a skincare focused in this trademark, which is interesting, but I get why it would be more like Chinita Heart Cosmetics as opposed to Chinita Heart Skincare. Cosmetics just sounds better. And then leaves it open for more cosmetic products in the future, even if skincare is the goal right now. Totally makes sense. Drag performers put so much makeup on their face that they really have to take care of their skin. So a skincare focused line from a drag performer would be really fascinating to see. So I'm definitely curious to see what this will end up looking like. The next one we have is Compass Beauty. This one is very intriguing to me. So I highly suspect that this is an influencer line or a new branch of an existing brand. There is some ties to Estee Lauder with Compass Beauty, and there's an international outside of the US component as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to be attacked, but there is a website. All it says is that it's launching soon, and there's beautiful graphics of clouds on it. I really do think that this is something we're going to see fairly soon. The fact that they have the website kind of up. It's still kind of hidden though. It's not being advertised anywhere, but it is up there. There is a trademark for Revia. So this doesn't sound like a product, but it does sound like a brand. So you could have Compass Beauty being more like a parent company. This happens sometimes. You have like a holdings company or some sort of corporation that forms, and then they are the ones that sort of operate the brand. So Revia could be a brand. It does sound like that based off of what the trademark is specifying. It doesn't sound like a specific product. It sounds like it would potentially be either part of the brand or just something that would fall underneath it. So you could have Compass Beauty being sort of like the founding company with Revia underneath it, or they could both be sort of brands in and of themselves. So the vibe I get from the brand is very whimsical, maybe a little spiritual. The closest I could find to a definition for the word Revia would be something like to see again. I also think of like with Compass Beauty as kind of like believe in yourself and, you know, follow your heart, whole direction kind of things with Compass Beauty. That's what I feel like the direction will be with the initial sort of push and launch of products. I feel like it's very much going to be focused on like the finding yourself, finding your inner beauty, follow your heart, that kind of language. That's just the sort of vibe I get based off of the trademark, the names, the sort of just general vibe. Just that's what it means to me. And this is all just my interpretation and my theories. I'm not tying this to any specific people or brand. I want to talk more speculative. So the next one is Lorac Beauty, L-A-R-A-Q. It does remind me of Lorac, just very similar. The logo is very pretty, very feminine, very elegant. There's also a website for this one with a coming soon. It is powered by Shopify though, as opposed to something like Compass Beauty, which is more of like a standalone.com site. Shopify is probably more of an individual effort. Still a great starting point nonetheless. There's no other trademarks for this brand yet, but There is that definite logo, which being so sort of elegant and defined makes me think that the products would be somewhat on the classic side. Next is Beauty Kingdom Cosmetics Company and the trademark Plant Garden, which sounds so appealing to me. Beauty Kingdom Cosmetics does operate out of China, and they research and develop new formulas for companies all around the world. So it could be an original brand or tied to one of their partnerships. The trademark covers a wide variety of cosmetics to skincare, but the name makes me think of more plant-based ingredients, obviously. Plant Garden. It just sounds so wholesome to me. Plant Garden. It just is the kind of thing that makes me smile when I think about it. I would love to see like a plant garden palette. Like, how adorable would that be, a plant garden palette? It's probably unlikely. It's probably more towards the skincare angle. It's probably more towards like face masks and that kind of stuff with more of those sort of natural plant-based ingredients. But I think a organic, maybe even vegan cosmetics line that really took its inspiration from the ingredients it used for its color stories would be really cool to see. I think it would be a nice little twist on sort of organic beauty and sort of like that whole kind of plant-based kind of thing if you had that direct inspiration with like eyeshadows that looked like it was a plant garden of different flowers and plants. And it's probably not going to be that, but it's fun to dream about it. It's fun to think about what it would be and seeing something that was sort of more heavily plant-based that wasn't just skincare. The next one we have is Creative Beauty Inc. and the trademark for Play Beauty, which I absolutely love because it's Play, P-L-E-Y. So that's just a little stylistic change, but it is a bit of a mystery to me because Creative Beauty Inc. is not very creative. Kind of nice to hide behind because there's so many variations of creative beauty companies and that have been around for decades. The closest I could find were two different companies, one based out of Wyoming and one based out of New York. My theory is that if the Wyoming Creative Beauty, then Play Beauty is probably more of a local based line or brand, something tied to maybe a spa or a salon. A lot of the times local salon owners, spa owners might have a small range of their own products of which they sell just usually locally, stuff that is sold kind of generally to their customers, their consumers, not really outside. Could also explain why there's no other trademarks there, because it really could just be covering that one basic thing. Just my thought, because I don't really think of major brands operating out of Wyoming. New York, on the other hand, I could definitely see that being tied to a larger cosmetics company or just being something that is going to be targeted more at a more national audience than just something more local. Again, this is just my opinion, but that's just what I thought when I saw that information when I was doing my little bit of digging. But they are looking at a bunch of different products as well. So cosmetics and makeup, namely primer, foundation, cover-up, contouring powder, contouring stick, lipstick, lip liner, lip gloss, lip tint, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, rouge, skincare, face care products, namely moisturizing lotions, creams, toners, shower gel, soaps, body cleansers, and facial cleansers. So it really kind of covers everything, but with like cosmetics being the first part of it, makes me think that maybe it'd be a little bit more cosmetics based, which would be interesting. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of information on this. I'm gonna be trying to keep an eye out to see what comes of this. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think of Play Beauty, like P-L-E-Y. I do think that it would be more like finger paints, like colorful products. I could be totally off base here, but just something with the name Play, I just think of something a lot more fun. And that's what the fun of these videos is for me, is the speculation. It's not fun to speculate about something when you already know what it's going to look like or what the aesthetic is going to be like. In this case, like, we're talking about brands that haven't been released yet, so we haven't seen what a single bit of packaging looks like, and we haven't seen any promotion except for like if logos are included or like basic information from very bare bones websites. So it's very interesting to me to talk about what something is going to look like without being biased from the actual products themselves, because then you kind of have to go into a different side of speculation and you're really just more analyzing what the product actually looks like. You don't get that sort of like dreamy, wishful thinking kind of angle, which is fun. So the second to last brand that I'm going to talk about is called Sir Lux. So this is a fancy logo, but I do find it to be a little bit tacky, just a little bit. It just seems like a lot. Like, I feel like a logo tells you a lot about a brand, and this tells me that this brand would be a lot. I find it interesting that the trademark specifies organic cosmetics, which there's something about this logo being so heavy. I don't feel organic cosmetics from it, but that's just my opinion. And then they also said, like, specifically brow products in the trademark and lipsticks, which seems like such an odd combo to me, but also it makes sense with the logo. Like, I definitely think more of like a heavy brow, like a dip brow, and like a liquid lipstick. Like, I definitely feel like the logo is kind of stuck in 2016. Again, just my opinion, but that's what it made me think of. I don't really imagine the aesthetic of this brand being clean or simple. There is also a website as well for this one. It exists, it's just not operational. So again, these are ones that are probably closer to launching than some of the other ones because they're there. And I'm interested to see if I'm right with sort of the aesthetic, or if it will actually be like a clean beauty, organic kind of thing with just the logo mismatching maybe, or maybe the logo will go with it. Who knows? I guess time will tell in this sort of scenario. And the last one that I want to talk about is from a limited company called Lorac Beauty, and this company also has ties outside of the US. There are a couple of trademarks for this though. There is Auric and Auric Stylized, so written in asymmetrical vertical form in all capital sans serif font. This is very likely the potential logo for the brand. I did look up what auric meant, which you could see two definitions, one being relating to the aura supposedly surrounding a living creature, and one being of relating to or derived from gold. So that's pretty interesting to me. I'm guessing there's going to be some gold with the packaging in some way. There also are two potential products that have been trademarked as well. There's a lot of different cosmetics being listed under Auric as well, pretty much everything. So you have blush, contour cream, cosmetic pencils, lip gloss, lipstick, facial makeup, namely highlighters. Now this stood out to me because there are two products, as I mentioned, that have been trademarked, and one of them is called Glow Lust. It's not specified, but I would put money on it being a luminizer, a highlighter, Glow Lust. With that part of the Auric trademark being specifically highlighters, that's why I definitely went to that. I'd probably put money on it. And the second is Smoke Reflect, which is eyeshadow. So probably an eyeshadow palette. Most brands will do an eyeshadow palette for their initial launch. It's pretty much a fail-proof kind of product because it's going to work for so many different types of people, as opposed to if you're going to do something like a foundation where you would need to have so many different shades, and that's not really accessible for somebody unless you are starting with a lot of money or a lot of backing, which a lot of these smaller brands probably wouldn't be. Not everybody's Fenty, right? So Smoke Reflect, probably like a warm tone neutral palette, probably warm browns and some golden hues, maybe one or two more like unique shades or pops of color or something, but probably overall very, very safe. It would be cool to see something more unique from an original new brand, something like cream shadows or like single shadows, maybe like a build your own kind of palette with a, you know, an assortment of shades. But probably not something that a new brand is going to take a gamble on when they can safely sell probably like a 12 to 15 pan warm tone eyeshadow palette. So I would love to know what you think about these trademarks, these potential new brands. Do any of them stick out to you? Do any of them seem interesting to you? Are there any things that you are curious about seeing them develop or what they end up looking like? Some of these might never see the light of day. That's another thing with these trademarks, as we've seen with some of these product trademarks that I've talked about before, that they still haven't come to light. And some of the trademarks I've talked about have been like a year or more ago and they still haven't come to light. And it can take a long time for things to get developed, but things can get held up for a number of different reasons. So we may not see these brands ever. It may also be months, if not years, until we see these brands come to light. So I'm going to be keeping tabs on them because I'm interested to see what happens, and I will always make sure to update you guys when I find out more. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what other sort of videos you would like to see. I love doing research. I have so much fun with it. So any kind of brand, makeup kind of history, I'm always going to be digging into the trademarks because I have so much fun doing it. But let me know any other video requests or recommendations. Anything is very, very much appreciated. Thank you so, so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.